Yes. I think you just naturally know the parameters. Well, to be fair, we only had one parameter last time, and I effed it up. So
That's true. Now we had a lot of parameters that were maybe unknown to half of us.
yeah, and you still got it. You don't need parameters. You just show up and you win. I need the rules.
Tyler, the key, like any true honors kid, is to skim things for the one thing that's interesting that you need to remember.
Hello, and welcome to Off the Beaten Path, brought to you by the Tabletop Travel Guide. I'm Tyler, and what did we do this week?
Cried a lot.
In games, not in real life.
Oh, shoot. I don't remember. We finished out
Season of Ghosts Book 1.
Ghosts Book 1, yeah.
Yes, that's right. We finished up, fought the big bad of Book 1, realized there's a real much bigger bad that...
There's always a bigger bad.
There's always a bigger bad. I also had finished in Book 1, but it was good. And then we're about to start Stolen Fate.
Dun, dun, dun. I'm Sam, and I was in the same final session of Season of Ghosts, and I will be running Stolen Fate. And I realized I need to get my stuff together this week.
Yes, we have session 0.5 this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not quite session 0. We did that. Not quite session 1. That's in a week.
Look, it's how does everybody get to this town that they are all in together?
That's true.
Which won't be like too hard to pull together, but
yeah. And you might notice once again, Ryan is not here with us. So I think this is probably the last episode he will be missing. After dealing with getting a new house, they had to get their old house ready to sell and all that fun jazz and figure out moving things. So, he said he'd be good after Wednesday.
Oh, that's right. He did give us an actual date.
Yeah, he gave us an actual date. So if you do not hear him in this next episode,
send him a lot of really sad messages on Discord.
Yes. We'll have to do a proof of life if he doesn't show up next time.
Ryan is really here, we promise.
Yeah.
We have seen him.
Right. So we are doing Off the Beaten Path again. We decided to narrow it down and put a little ground rules because somebody didn't do the correct lively town last time. It was me. I did ruins.
Tyler said pick towns and then immediately did the opposite.
Yes. So I had to give myself some rules. So today we are talking about the towns you might find or towns you will find in the Shining Kingdoms. So we weren't totally sure whether we wanted that we could narrow it down to a country. So we'll see how this goes, but
we thought we would run out of places of interest if we only did towns in one country.
Yeah.
Because some of them have like a sentence.
Yeah.
So a region seemed to be a little better. And Tyler did tell me his places before I picked mine. So we tried not to overload too much. So
yeah, for sure. And kind of the not the rules. What word am I looking for? The parameters. So the parameters we had for this is like, we looked at the Golarion map, clicked towns, and they had to be less than like a full town, like maybe like a couple paragraphs.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Oh.
He didn't tell me that, public. He just said towns.
That's fair. I did say towns.
That's what I picked.
Okay. I figured it was just like the smaller stuff.
Oh. I mean, some of mine have multiple like entries. I didn't pick like any metropolises.
Okay. Yeah.
But I picked a metropolis last time and you didn't tell me that was bad. I didn't pick a capital.
Yeah, but that still only had like a paragraph or two in the wiki, didn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Remember. It's been too long. So what we're saying is that Tyler had a lot of parameters in his brain that he did not share. Once again.
We have been married for 12 years. Anticipate my parameters, Sam.
This is fine.
It's going great. The first version of this was to test out the mics. The second version is to explain or to narrow down the parameters and then discuss them. We'll get this eventually.
Look, the bottom line is that we found places that people live in the Shining Kingdoms.
Yes. And these are not the places you would, be for any big campaign necessarily. Like, we're not talking about Opara in Taldor, the capital, or
Yes, to our knowledge, the places that we picked are not necessarily the major settings of any adventure paths, things like that. Like, they might be mentioned in those, but it's not like we picked Kintargo, which an entire adventure path takes place in.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess one more thing to note, which I kind of realized while reading this and kind of looking through, I've noticed that the kind of towns with like less amount of lore around them tend to be from either the Pathfinder 1 days or even the 3.5 days. So some of this lore, if, could be changed. One of mine is will probably need updated with the 2E changes.
Yeah.
But
one of mine is an older one too.
Yeah, but like take these as, places that your character could be from or, kind of a stop by, just like little bits in the country rather than I'm in a town or I'm from a town that I have not named.
We're just helping you flesh out your backstories.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go first or want me to go first?
I'll let you go first.
Okay. We will be crowning a winner at the end of this. Which
Between ourselves. So
Sam won last episode with the Festival of Last Breath.
Yes, it was great.
Yeah. So my first city is called Prophet's Home.
Okay.
And it is in the country of Druma. So remember Druma, the calistocracy, the blackjackets, the kind of fancy, the real rich area.
They're big on selling stuff.
They're
it's
big
a big trading, right?
Big trade area. Their religion is money.
Yes.
Yeah. So the city of Prophet's Home is located in the northeast, and it's best known for housing the training facilities of the Mercenary League.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of the government in the city is military because it's like almost kind of like a military outpost. Remember, the Mercenary League are the just like very strong, very well equipped military of Druma, and specifically the enforcement arm of the Prophets of Calistrade. So, because they have a bunch of money, they have all the armor, all of the best gear, all the fancy
gadgets.
gear. But I kind of, there's not too much going about this one. There's like a big fortress in the middle called Thousand Shields. It towers above the rest of the city. That's where the Mercenary League has its, headquarters. It's, compared to the rest of, the other big cities in Druma that are very grandiose and ostentatious. It's very utilitarian. Yeah, so I picked this one. I thought it'd be kind of cool, like, if you're somebody who is in the Mercenary League or a character who like dreamed of being a mercenary and is like grew up kind of in like kind of like the army brat type thing. I feel like that'd be like a good place for the character to be from. Something small, but yeah.
It could also be like a good site for like an errand or something too. If you had a campaign that was set in Druma, like it might be a one-off. Like you need to go here to get something from the mercenaries, or
you're dropping off something too. Like you need to take something to the Mercenary League at Prophet's Home. Like it's a good stopover area.
Yeah, could be a good for like a quick session type thing.
Yeah, so short and simple.
Nice. All right. Well, my first town. It's actually a small city, I guess.
Okay.
I'm popping over to Taldor.
Ooh, okay.
So yes, as we remember, Taldor is like crappy Camelot. So that vibe. The town that we are going to is called Wispil.
Wispil?
Wispil. It is a gnomish city.
Ooh.
And it is in the Verduran forest.
Okay.
I feel like I can't say that word. I'm like Verduran. It's fine.
The Verdur forest.
The Verdur forest. So they supply most of Taldor's timber and much of its woodcraft. So a lot of their timber goes to the Navy shipyards, which obviously become boats
Yes.
for the Navy. So it was originally just a lumber town, but then it's grown considerably with influence from the druids of the Wildwood Lodge, and that's how the gnomes got involved. My favorite thing about this city, of course, is that the gnomes are very into opera here.
Ooh.
So they have a tavern that they turned into an opera house
Okay.
in the middle of town. And the inhabitants of the town all take turns performing
Nice.
in the opera. Visitors are not exempt from this. And the gnomes are happy to let you know how well or not you performed in the opera.
So you show up and you're like, I'm bad at the opera. They're like, we'll be the judge of that.
Yes, get on the stage.
Get on the stage. And then you do it and you're like, oh, no, that's correct. You were.
Or maybe they're just like such lovers of theater that they're like, it's fine. Any attempt is great. Maybe they're just happy for you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, the local gnome population may have invented a mild euphoric drug that like gets distributed from here.
You know.
It's fine.
Look,
You know?
they are the exporters of wood, opera, and hallucinogenics.
Like, it seems like a great place to visit. Okay, I think I'm really selling it. So could be a really fun place to be from if you're a gnome, but also I feel like could be a hilarious stop at a campaign.
Yeah, that feels like it could be like a fun like filler episode of a campaign. Stop by
Sure.
Whistle.
Like, you're supposed to get somewhere and then you accidentally like end up in this lumber town where you have to perform in the opera before the gnomes will like tell you pertinent information to get to whatever you need to find. Or maybe somebody in your party accidentally ends up taking hallucinogenics and you figure that out. Like,
Somebody slipped me a Mickey.
It seems like just a really funny, like, oh, we either need to like get a little bit more XP or I didn't totally plan a session today.
Yeah.
So like, here's where we're at.
Hilariously, we've, been to lumber towns in campaigns.
Yes.
And like usually you think of
I think we've been to lumber towns in Taldor.
Yeah. That's probably true. Or Andor. There are Andoran.
Oh, maybe it was Andoran.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like, oh yeah, go to this lumber town, deal with the union there, and then you show up and you're like, oh, operatic gnomes. Okay, let's
Gnomes who love the theater.
and drugs.
I mean, it's fine.
I like it. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so that's Whistle.
Whistle. Okay. I think we're off to a great start. I'm a fan of this. So my next one, we're going a little bit north of Taldor to Galt.
Yes.
Yes.
French Revolution.
Our favorite French Revolution, to the city of Azure Stone. So this city takes its name from the massive blue Menhir Tower. So I had to look this up. A Menhir Tower is kind of like a big obelisk. So think kind of like Stonehenge without the little, like it's just like literally a big tall stone sticking up out of the ground.
A standing stone.
A standing stone. Yes. A menhir. But this thing is blue and stands 100 feet above the town.
Oh, it's
so
big.
It is huge. So it's located on the plains north of the Borewood. And Azure Stone has been relatively isolated from the Revolutionary.
Oh,
so it's
for
like
them.
Right. So it's a place in Galt that's not just like murder,
Okay,
which is kind of interesting.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it's actually the stone itself is an object of reverence for the dwarves. They believe it's a spear that was thrown down from heaven in the prehistoric times by their patron god Torag.
Oh, R.I.P. No,
that's Gorham.
Damn.
Torag's still alive and well.
Okay, just kidding. Sorry, sir. Did not mean to preemptively.
He's not quite dead yet.
Oops.
Yeah, so like the dwarves don't necessarily live there. There's a lot of them live in the nearby Fog Peaks.
Okay.
But this is kind of a pilgrimage area for dwarves.
So does anyone live in the settlement?
Yeah, so like almost 10,000 people do. But it's
okay.
60% human, 30% dwarf.
Gotcha.
And then,
it's just not like exclusively
it's not a dwarven city,
Uh-huh.
but it is a dwarven religious pilgrimage.
Yes.
Yeah, so it is kind of funny because the dwarves make their regular pilgrimages, and that's like their tourism industry.
I love it.
Yeah, so that pumps up their economy. The one kind of interesting fun fact is there's rumors of hidden chambers beneath the stone, and that's kind of beginning to attract adventurers and other undesirables to the city. Undesirables who might try to take advantage of, whatever loot or whatever might be under there. They've also started bringing some of the Galt's revolutionaries in spirit with them. So yeah, overall it's kind of a isolated town, but may change. And with we haven't come back to Galt since the Shining Kingdoms book came out, but now with the revolution kind of over,
dun.
I assume this one would probably have changed a little bit, but maybe not too much.
Yeah, probably not as much as the rest of the country.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But I think you could be, again, from here, you could be a dwarf who's made a lot of pilgrimages there. You could be from Azure Stone. I like, you could be like a cleric. That'd be cool. Like, I'm sure they have certain clerics of Torag that kind of like defend the town. So
that'd be neat.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Azure Stone and Galt, not murder.
Look, we got to mix it up, okay? They can't all be murder towns.
Right.
Or maybe we haven't taken people to enough murder towns.
That's true. Oh, there's one more thing that's kind of cool about this. So the way where the city's located would normally have very harsh winters, but apparently there's an artifact that hangs that's like in the church called the Vernal Key, which is literally just an artifact that like makes things temperate. So like within,
it's like the vernal equinox.
Yeah, so like within 5 miles of wherever the key is, it just like makes the temperature nice.
Oh my gosh, can I have one of those? I would love to hang that right outside the front door. That'd be great.
Like I would like a vernal key in my office.
Yes, if I never had to shovel snow again, that'd be excellent.
Just for my driveway.
Yes. All right, cool. Yeah. Okay, so my next one is a twofer.
Ooh.
Because I have a town and then kind of like a weird other little settlement-y type thing.
Okay.
So, we're going to Andoran.
Freedom.
See, we did so good with this. We are stopping in Caldemin. I'm assuming it's a C that's a hard K. Because Saldemin sounds like a bad, like
salmon,
or like a salad I don't want to eat. I don't know. So we're gonna say Caldemin anyway. So it's a small town in the northern part of Andoran, close to the Five Kings Mountains. So the reason why this settlement has any tourism is because there are two extraordinary creatures who make their home nearby.
What?
A red reaver and a gray render, and they just kind of show up and fight each other. Okay. And so people come from really far to watch them just duke it out outside the town.
What type of creatures are the reaver and the render?
So this is where these are from, like ye old Pathfinder. So like a red reaver is like a gorilla-ish type creature.
Oh yeah.
That's really large, and then the render looks more like kind of like a rhino creature type situation.
Okay.
So they're really big dudes that just kind of go at it outside the town.
How do I make Godzilla and King Kong into Pathfinder?
Yes. It's like that. They're not as big as like Godzilla in scale, but yes, that's basically what's happening out in the woods.
So people live in this town, and then the tourism part is people just come to
come to watch the fight. Yeah, it's a small town, so there's not like, I think the wiki says there's like 500 people that live here, and then the tourists come to see the creatures fight out in the woods.
That's awesome.
So I thought that was hilarious. But then in that same like entry, they also mention that Caldemin has a friendly trading relationship with a reclusive settlement called Hillhome.
Okay.
That's a settlement of Coventus, which I had to look up because I was
no idea what that is.
I've never heard this word. I don't know if any of these things exist in 2E anymore. Because they all just sounded Real weird. But Coventus are humanoids with innate talents in geomancy.
Okay. Oh yeah, Geomancer was a thing in 1E.
Yeah, so then Hillhome is the entrance of which is in a circle of standing stones. Speaking of standing stones. And so if you perform a ritual on the site, it opens the center of the circle into geomantically carved tunnels. And that's where the Coventus live.
Okay. Huh.
And they're like reclusive. So the only people they really talk to are Caldeman. And I don't know, maybe they watch the little dudes like fight out in the forest too. But basically they just like pop out to like trade crafts. So they like make really cute like little miniatures and dice and like games and other things out of like dirt stone and like compressed leaves and stuff like in quartz. Like so they just like they pop out of their little underground home and they're like, here's our crafts. Bye.
Can you imagine the type of person who would be from this town and be very confused anywhere else?
Like this would be a weird place to be from.
This would be a great place to be from. It would literally be like, so you go to a new town, like, okay, so where do your monsters fight?
Right. I know. Like, yeah, you know, like every few months we go out and we bet on the monsters that fight behind the town.
Oh, and our little cave people that show up and trade out gifts.
Like, these are my little trinkets that I got from my friend from Hillhome. Like, what?
That's awesome. And now I think about it, I think Geomancer is an archetype in Pathfinder 2. I think so.
I like some of this. I was like, I don't think I've ever come across this in anything, so I wasn't sure if all of this was stuff that they kept.
Yeah. I think it's hard for the smaller towns because they like show up in one thing and they're like, they may get around back to this.
Yeah, more like the components of it, just because I was like, I'm not sure if these creatures are still things that like still exist. But I like the idea of even if it's a different creature, that this town is still out here and there's random creatures duking it out.
Yeah.
Just, you know, going ham for fun. Hey.
Again, that goes back. That's another great filler side episode where you go bet on the Hell Reaver versus not the Hell Reaver, the Red Reaver and the Gray Render.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like you're traveling and all of a sudden there's two large creatures duking it out and you're like, well, this wasn't what I expected. And then you end up in this town and everyone's like taking bets on who's going to win. And you're like, where am I?
Can you imagine you're on how big are those creatures? Are they like gargantuan?
The Red Reaver is listed as large.
Okay.
So they're not like insane, but they're large.
You're like traveling along. You just hear the sounds of fights and you're like, oh, what's happening? You run over and you see these two big monsters fighting and a bunch of people with popcorn. Like,
what's going on?
Place your bets.
That'd be funny.
Nice. And that's Caldeman.
Yes.
I like it.
Caldeman and Hillhome and Andoran.
That feels very Andoran.
Right, yeah. Like, that sounds right. Betting on creatures out in the woods. The wiki does not say that they are betting on it, but that's just my interpretation of like, what else would you do?
What else are you going to do? You're not going to go and
you're not going to interrupt, so.
Yeah. That's good headcanon. You heard it from Tabletop Travel Guide here first.
Thank you. On 1E content that may never come up again.
Right. You never know. Okay. So for my last city, we are jumping over to Taldor.
Back to Taldor.
And to be fair, this isn't a year-round city.
Is it my summer home?
Kind of. So this place is called Eagle's Head. And it is at its heart an amphitheater.
Oh.
Yeah. And it is, maybe like 100, 200 miles northeast of Opara. So this theater has existed basically since our friend of the pod, Aerodin, ascended. So it has been around for millennia.
Sure.
And like it is famous for being a center of the performing arts, which attract viewers and performers from all over the Inner Sea. Every major work of Taldor Druma has been performed at Eagle's Head at some point.
Tyler, I get that you were trying to win, but this is rude. Like, just really playing to my interests here. I see the tactic.
Yes.
That wasn't in the parameters.
The parameters were pick something Sam would like, so she picks mine as the winner.
Well, I did give you Baby Godzilla and
you did.
King Kong. So
yeah. Yeah.
Without knowing that was the parameters, I'm still feeling okay. Continue about the theatrical amphitheater.
Yeah, you just naturally came in swinging. Like the Red Reaver. Red Reaver. So every performer from across Taldor dreams of performing here at some point in their life.
Naturally.
So the really cool thing is during the summer, the land for a mile around just becomes tent city.
Oh, yeah.
And
we're going to the summer concert. It's Coachella.
Yeah, it's literally like summer-long Coachella or Burning Man or whatever, where performers, just artists, all types of aficionados come and watch theater all summer long and watch perform music, right? So it's super cool. Just like I imagine like somebody who grew, like a bard who grew up just every summer going to Eagle's Head and like having, oh yes, our family took summers in Eagle's Head and I saw all the famous Talden performers. And so each season there's like a kind of a headliner or like somebody who rises to the like top of the summer, like that season wins or not wins, but is like whatever it comes to. So like the last 5 years, there's an elven virtuoso, Tirali Ambrasa has been the talk, and it's nearly unprecedented to be the talk of 5 Eagle's Head summers in a row.
Wow.
Usually, at most, you can only claim a couple of seasons. So she is a powerful bard.
Naturally.
But her popularity seems to have nothing to do with her being magical.
She's the Taylor Swift of...
Yeah, she
Taldor.
Yeah. You know, because she has like so much sway over all the attendees, she has incredible access to like nobility and prestigious guests and
yes, she's Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Meeting the queen.
Right.
I get it.
The Lion Blades for this keep a close eye on her because you know, guests from other nations are also very interested, so she's just kind of the talk of the town. And you know, the middle of a lot of espionage.
Naturally.
Yes. So the kind of interesting thing is like beyond just all of the art and theater and whatever, because it's like kind of chaotic and just big tent city, it also breeds a lot of espionage and intrigue and general skullduggery.
Oh, general skullduggery.
Yes. So the Lion Blades, the, you know, Taldor's secret spy organization, they have like a heavy presence here to kind of make sure that people...
you working Coachella this summer? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if Coachella had like, you know, a bunch of like drugged out artists and then also like some spies. Or...
Sure.
Yeah, but I thought this was awesome. And even though it's only a summer city, I feel like...
So it's funny because you were like, oh... you could be a bard that like grew up coming here. And I look at it and I go, you know what I would do?
Ooh.
I would have the campaign start here.
Ooh.
And the party is all attending this. And then a monster like shows up or some big bad just like lands on the stage in the middle of Tirali, whatever her face is, sets. And then everybody has to like react and then figure out like who ruined Summerfest.
Who ruined Summerfest? What would the title?
Who stomped on Coachella? Whatever it is.
That would be a good place to start. Everyone just partying it.
I like that.
Your summer turns bleak when a monster shows up to the biggest.
Well, and like you could be one of the Lion Blades that's there on duty.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't even have to be.
You could be
you could be another performer who's like, I'm waiting for my set. Damn it, the monster showed up.
You could be a criminal who's here doing some sort of shady underroom deal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can be a noble. Like this literally could fit any sort of person there for Summerfest.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
I'm not sure what Big Bad is bad about, you know, the performers. Maybe it's somebody who missed out on getting the head bardship, whatever we call that thing.
Yeah. It's the guy who got runner-up in Taldor's The Voice.
Taldor's Got Talent.
Taldor. That'd be the name of the campaign. Taldor's Got Talent.
That would be funny. Only I would write it as like Taldor's Got Talent, but talent would be crossed out and it would be Taldor's Got Murder.
Ooh.
There we go. Tyler went wholesome. I went murder. No one is surprised.
This is our relationship.
or our approach to campaigns. Either way.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like we had a lot of cool places. What do you think was the coolest place to be?
I still have one more.
Oh, you still have one. That's right. You still have one more.
My other one was a twofer. Okay, my last one.
Sorry, it threw me
it's
off.
Okay, my last one's a quick one. And you'll laugh at why I picked it. So we are headed to Keonan.
Okay.
And the city is Lasinavel.
Okay. Lasinavel?
Sure. It's on the north bank of the Keonan River. It's about 30 miles from Ayadara. And it is famous for its feasts.
Okay.
The city was founded by Lasina, who is a renowned chef who just wanted to create a place to host people.
Top chef.
To cook for them. Yes. So, of course, cooking is at the heart of the culture of this city. There's like a lot of magic that goes into creating an environment in which food and ingredients remain fresh for a long time.
Yeah.
So, your magical greenhouses and storage things and whatever. And chefs are like invited to the city to prepare their dishes in the city's ovens.
Ooh.
There's lots of festivals related to food, but notably, none has been as famous as the feast in which Lasina themselves created a dish that looked like a dragon.
Ooh.
So there you go.
Okay.
The final city is food.
Food. And the final dish of the day is food.
I found yet another one with a cool festival.
Dang it, another food festival too. Not good enough to die for, but good enough to breathe fire on.
No, but just with magically delicious food. So there you go.
Man. Dang, that does sound fun. And what was that place called again?
Lasinavel. So this is in Keonan, so you probably have to be an elf. I don't know. But the subtitle of the city is the City of Unending Feasts.
Damn.
So you want to go on a food tour?
Man, do you think there's like some secret followers of Urgathoa in here? Because she's all about like
gluttony.
Could be interesting. A campaign that starts with an Urgathoa trying to corrupt one of the feasts.
Could be weird. Maybe.
I don't know.
All right, now you may launch into your speech about how do we choose a winner.
Well, I don't know, man. I feel like I was like, yeah, my other two, they were cool. They were fun, but like just kind of chill. Eagle's Head, I'm like, it's going to win. And then you brought like 4 awesome ones.
Never underestimate me.
Sam always brings it.
Look, I just look for cities that have weird random facts.
That's fair.
And luckily I found enough of them for today. We got gnomes on hallucinogens and operas.
Actually, I think gnomes. I think the lumber hallucinogen operatic gnome that might win.
See, you have me sold on like theater camp summer though.
That's fair.
That would be my pick, even though it's technically not like a full-time residence. I'm like, yeah, that's where I want to go. Nice. Okay, well, we both win. We don't need to pick a total winner. We'll let the people pick the winner.
Yes, let us know which.
We will not be offended, whichever one you choose. We share in the winnings like we share a bank account.
All of the winnings we get. We don't win any things except bragging rights. We share in those. We have a joint bragging right
account.
Nice. Well, thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Tyler. I think we did really well with only one of us knowing the parameters.
Yes. I think you just naturally know the parameters. Well, to be fair, we only had one parameter last time, and I effed it up. So
that's true. Now we had a lot of parameters that were maybe unknown to half of us.
Yeah, and you still got it. You don't need parameters. You just show up and you win. I need the rules.
Tyler, the key, like any true honors kid, is to skim things for the one thing that's interesting that you need to remember.
Yes, I like it. Nice. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We will be back. We might do one more spoiler guide when Ryan gets back. Not totally sure. And then we are going to figure out where we are going from there. I think we decided maybe we might do the Golden Road.
Yes.
So if you've been wondering, man, these guys have not done a mainline episode for a while, which is fair. We were originally going to plan to only do this for like maybe 2 months. And then life got a little busy. So we will be back shortly with new mainline episodes, new areas. But if you like this type of episode, let us know in the comments of Spotify. You can shoot us an email, tabletoptravelguidepodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up on Instagram. Remember, you can join our free Discord. Go to our free Patreon, Tabletop Travel Guide Podcast, and there's a link at the top. But other than that, any final words, Sam?
None that are appropriate.
And with that, safe travels.